Hey, how you doing, guys? I'm just shedding my Motown and grooves here on the OP bass, and just been listening to a ton of Motown and R&B bass lines recently. So I thought it'd be great to get you in on this and share one of the lessons from Danny Mo Morris's bassline creation and R&B bass course from within the Academy over at Scott's Bass Lessons. If you haven't heard of Danny before, he is one of the longest serving faculty members over at Berklee College of Music, and is just such an awesome teacher. I found him online on YouTube actually, checking out one of his videos, and just from then I've just really got into his style, and as it turns out sent him an email, and he ended up, you know, doing some live stream seminars over in the Academy. So if you are an Academy member and you're listening to me right now, you can actually check out this lesson. You can check out his full course as well that this lesson is taken from, but you can also check out all the archive footage from his live stream seminars it is done for the Academy as well, because I think there's like 10 or something of them in there, and he's been talking about, you know, finding your own sound and locking in with the bass drum and all, you know, whole load of cool stuff. But anyway, so what you're going to learn in this lesson. So first of all, you're going to learn about locking in with the bass drum and how Danny counts. He's got this up and down thing. I love it. I'll let Danny tell you all about that. You're also going to learn about bassline creation and how he uses the chord tones to do that. But most of all, he's going to talk about organizing bass parts and your bass lines and patterns within what you're doing. It's really important, and as Danny says within this lesson, it's something that you're going to be able to use all the time and will be called on you to use all the time, but nobody really talks about it. And Danny's one of the first guys I heard to really highlight this, and kind of why I wanted to share this lesson with you as well. So without further ado, here is Danny Mo Morris.
In this portion of the program, we're going to work on jamming, improvising bass lines, just coming up with something new and framing it, organizing it to the point where you've developed the part. Okay, so we're going to take a loop, a drum loop in 4/4 time with a repetitive kick pattern, and then have you on the bass conversing with it. Okay, you'll see how I do it. Not necessarily playing in tandem with the kick drum all the time, yet knowing that at the end of a 4-bar phrase, a 2 or a 4-bar phrase, if you come down on beat 1, it's going to lock and your bass part is going to make some sense. There's going to be some continuity to it. And this is to help you develop your playing, develop your bass vocabulary, but primarily to develop your organization skills, which really everybody is looking for us bass players to do, but a lot of people don't talk about it, you know. They jam, they play, they practice, but when do you practice coming up with solid bass parts on your own? So here's a way to do it. I'm going to start with jamming on a 1 chord. A7 will be the chord. That's an A7. And then I'm going to morph it into a blues form, a 1/4/5 blues form. On the 4 chord, on the way out, I'm going to put the 3rd in on the bass. So that's the concept of an inversion. Not necessarily playing the root of the chord, but playing the 3rd of the chord. And that gives a particular sound. Bach did it, and you can as well. Okay. it's fun to practice jamming. If you could find a real drummer to play with, awesome. If not, pick a drum pattern. This one has, on the kick, 1 and 2 and. This concept of 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, 4-bar phrase, 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, 2-bar phrase, 1 and 2 and, 1 and 2 and, fill, 1 and 2 and. So I'm always thinking of the binary form. Then of course, you know, some songs have an odd bar, not 4 beats to the bar, maybe a bar or 2, or a 7-bar phrase, and then you have to assimilate that into your overall concept of the song. But here together, in this lesson, we're just working with even 4-bar phrases, 8-bar phrases, and I started out there by playing with a concept of an A7 chord, okay? Here's our chord. These strings are very old. They're around 15 years old, different than my other bass. But I like them, you know, for the timbre, for the thud of it. It really feels like a kick drum, like giving pitch to the kick drum. In fact, when the kick drum and the bass play simultaneously, we give pitch to the beater, with the, you know, the beater meets the bass drum head, and what it does for us is it kind of widens our note when we play together. So when that pattern started, you had boom, boom, boom. I had a conversation with it. So that's fun too, where you don't play the identical rhythm as the kick. Although I always knew that it was going to come back down to the 1, 2, and. 1, 2, 1, 2, and. Okay? And then with bass vocabulary, there are certain tonalities that sound just awesome. The flatted third, okay? But if I take that up an octave, and the 6th, so I use that as the fill. The flat 7, okay? Or take the flatted third here. So the flatted third of A is a C natural, okay? Go way up here. That has a cool sound. Here's the 6th of the scale. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And find that here. Okay? The timbre of that 6 on this D, on a 15-year-old D string is real cool. So I do that. The flatted third up top. Okay? Against there, and you have some fun with it, all in keeping with landing on a solid beat 1 after every 4-bar, or certainly after every 8-bar phrase. Then you make a song out of it. So to practice improvisation is something I do just about every day, you know, either before I teach or maybe just to wind down at the end of the day. Just play music, make up something for like 5, 10, 15 minutes. And I'll record it too and listen back, might get some ideas. But that's how you discover your own tastes and personality on the instrument, just by jamming a lot. Then I took it into a blues. So, you know, in terms of bass patterns, that's like an old boogie-woogie line, you know. Okay, take it up to the 4 chord. But with the left hand muting. And then back. For a 5 chord, there's the E, back to the 4 chord, but sometimes you could put a third in the bass. So here's the 4 chord D. What's the third of D? F sharp. Put it down there. So here we have the 5 chord. In my ear, I'm hearing the 4 chord, although in the bass part, I'm putting the third. So that's something, what we call an inversion. Instead of the root, you take the third and you put that in on the bottom, and it feels really good. It makes the music sound cool. And then by the time you hit the 1, it feels nice and centered, and now we have an A blues kind of funk jam. All right, so let's try some of that again.